tonight on Colonial Sports Center.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another fantastic week of Colonial Sports Center. My name is Casey Irwine, joined by my good pal Cam Wickline. And this week, tons of exciting stuff, Cam, including records. You've got awards. You got all of it, Cam.
Case, another loaded week in Colonial sports. RMU football had their big home opener. Soccer teams kept doing their thing. And we even have an exclusive interview from head coach, the boy who coached, Jonathan Potter, up later in the show.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it, Cam. That'll be later in the show. That'll be exciting. That men's soccer team has been doing fantastic, which you'll hear about in just a little bit. But, Cam, the other football one, more here in America, the one 100 yards, sidelines, all that.
I'm familiar, Case.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Just making sure.
I'm familiar. Thank you.
I thought we were going to get a little too much soccer talk, but that one for RMU had a big game this weekend.
They did have a big game this weekend, Case. Home opener at Joe Walton Stadium. RMU took on the Hilltoppers of West Liberty. You might be thinking, Case, who is that? They're a Division II school, and last time RMU played a Division II school in football, things did not go so well in the, frankly, embarrassing game last year when RMU lost 23-21 to Edinburgh. Let's hope their fortunes switched up a little bit in this one. Let's take you to the highlights. Picking it up in the first quarter, Zach Tanner is going to find Thomas Lee across the middle for the first touchdown of the game. Army breaks the scoring open, 7-0.
Yeah, good to see the Colonials offense getting started early, especially Zach Tanner, who's had a rough first couple weeks, but crossing out right over the middle, gets it for the 7.
Yeah, relatively easy score there. And one of the big stories for this game, was the success of RMU's rushing attack, and you're going to see that take place here when Dante Wack goes in from 5 yards out.
Yeah, Cam, this is a rushing attack that has struggled for years, and in these first couple of games for the Colonials has struggled once again. So getting an early touchdown, just punching it in right up the gut, fantastic sign for Coach Clark's team.
Now we saw some of the positives of the rushing attack there. Now some of the negatives. Taj Deiches goes for a rush here until Nasir Lawrence punches one out. Jonas McGraw jumps on top of it for the Hilltoppers. West Liberty ball.
Yeah, and immediately you have positive, and then immediately another negative. Just loose hands right there, was just being rumbled around, gets the ball punched out, and a turnover right there, which would be a big story today.
Now on the ensuing possession, Cole Meisman's pass is going to be broken up by Robert Dickerson, flies up in the air. Israel Petit comes down with the interception. RMU gets it for a touchback.
Yeah, that's why you play those tip drills, Cam. And as I just said, turnovers, big story on this day. Colonials able to get the tip in after pressure on the quarterback and get a turnover right on the goal line.
Nothing much doing for the rest of the half. They go in 14-0, Robert Morris leading. Now, Hunter Patterson's going to cough this one up. Nathan Karabatis on the forced fumble. Xavier Stiles comes down with it for the Colonials.
And Colonials overall with these turnovers, especially against West Virginia week 1, something that they have excelled at. And even though this is now a Division II school, they keep excelling at it. So that's a good sign for when conference play comes up.
Now, on the ensuing possession, Zach Tanner is going to find Jackie Carter here in the back of the end zone. Do yourself a favor, just take a look at this catch.
Cam, you could say he just got mossed on that one. Jackie Carter just jumps up and says, "Give me that one." Tanner says, "Here, I brought the ladder. Go climb it." And that he does right on the back of his head. DB could do nothing about it. Jackie Carter, 21-0 Colonials.
One of the big stories in this one was RMU fumbling the ball too much, and after a fumble at their own 22, West Liberty goes in, Jaden Alston for the 5-yard score. Now on the next possession, after a big return to West Liberty's 48, RMU gets a rushing score of their own. This time Ethan Shine in for the touchdown. That flag was on a defensive offsides, did get rejected.
Another good rushing touchdown for the Colonials, just able to punch it right up the middle. That's something they have to be able to do and dominate that front 7.
Now on a long drive, 12th play here for the Hilltoppers. Cole Meisman finds Levi Gavon for the touchdown, 28-14. West Liberty doesn't die yet.
Yeah, Colonials just get a little bit of a lapse in defense late in this game, something that is not a promising sign for sure.
Last-ditch effort from Meisman here until Tassine Howard comes up with the interception, essentially ices the game. The Colonials would kneel it out after this.
Colonials take a 28-14 win. Now, Cam, you'd maybe like to see more points scored in the game. They only win by 2 touchdowns in this one. They are equal on turnovers, 3-3 in this one, giving up 3 turnovers against a Division II school. So you'd like to see more maybe, but you said last year, if last time they played a Division II school, they take the loss. So a win is a win, you have to say.
Yeah, a win is a win, and one of the big keys of this game, Ethan Shine goes for 133 on the ground and a score, 242 rush yards as a team. That's the most since 2018 when they had for 289 yards on the ground versus Central State. Zach Tanner also 8-9 for 83 yards. Not a lot of yards, but 2 touchdowns. He was efficient. That's what you're looking for out of a quarterback like Zach Tanner. You just want him to run the offense, make no mistakes, and he'll win you some games that way.
Yeah, when your quarterback throws 9 passes in a game and you still score 28 points, that's a pretty good sign. But now, Kim, a lot of people saw this game this weekend because this game against West Liberty had the most student attendance of any RMU athletics game ever. So let's take a look at this one. See all these top 5. You can see last season football home opener took it by a wide margin, that one. And then in the spring, men's basketball against the Wright State in the quarterfinals for the Horizon League to send them to Indianapolis. That one was electric. But then this year, now, even though it's against Div 2, another record breaker. So, Cam, it seems that up and up on the rise for the Colonials in terms of fan engagement.
Yeah, and that's kudos to athletic director Chris King. As you can see, all these games are since he's taken over, and they're all of recent. Top 3 are all in the last, either this year or last year. And not only is Chris King doing good with fan engagement, he's delivering championships, 5 championships last year. And pretty simply, that's what people want to see. So it's almost more of a chicken or the egg thing. Are people happy that the teams are winning? That's why they're showing up. Who knows? Who cares? People are there, and that's what sports are about.
Yeah, especially with college, you want to see those students there. That's what makes it electric.
Yeah, speaking of one of the good teams for the Colonials, the men's soccer team was good last year. They won one of the championships, and one of the best players on their team this year, Fabian Overkamp, was rewarded with the Horizon League Defensive Player of the Week after he had 2 goals and an assist.
Yeah, Cam, Overkamp was fantastic. You can see he's going to put one in the net right here after it bounced around for a little bit. And he has just been fantastic along with this Colonials team. And you see 2 goals and assists in 1 game is impressive for pretty much any sport, except maybe lacrosse. They rack up a lot.
They do rack up a lot.
But, you know, for soccer, it is a very, very good stat line, Cam.
Here's some stats for you, Case. His first ever multi-goal game, his first career assist, both in the same game. He had a heck of a game. So not only was he awarded the Horizon League Defensive Player of the Week, he was also Top Drawer Soccer's National Team of the Week. So he got some national recognition as well.
Yeah, Kim, exciting stuff from the men's soccer team. But coming up after this, we will hear from the men's soccer coach, Potter. So stick around here in Colonial Sports Center for that exclusive interview.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover their unique mix of all kinds of traits.
Where'd Wiley go? Where's Wiley? Ah, there she is. Paw?
Do you remember being an ancient wolf? Do you ever feel the call of the wild?
You're a renegade cop, and I'm a con woman with nothing to prove. But together, we could really solve this murder.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but all of them are pure love.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. Casey, you were talking about some soccer before we left for break. What's up?
Well, we're going to keep talking about, Kim. Men's soccer this week played against Detroit Mercy to open up Horizon League play. The team was coming off their first loss of the season to Niagara and now coming back to play at home to Detroit Mercy. Let's see how the Colonials did against their division rivals. You can see here RMU just dominates, takes a 4-0 win. This is RMU's first win against the Titans since 2022. Makes the Colonials 3-1-2 overall and gives them their first Horizon League win. Lots of scoring all around. You already heard about Overcamp with his 2 goals and 1 assist. But the goalkeeper's 5 saves on 9 shots faced for the Colonials. A lot of good play all around. This Colonials offense has been super electric to start it off. Matthew Eckersall caused a turnover in the midfield, found Roy Rahim, and Rahim had a surgical pass through a streaking Hanas Adran, who put it in for 1-0. In the second half, Colonials extended the lead to 2-0 after Overcamp getting his goal. 73rd minute, Lee threw the ball in from distance. Overcamp connected again, and 4-0. This one was Overcamp once again, his second goal of the game. So RMU take 4-0 win in this one. Their next conference game will be at home in the weekend, hosting Northern Kentucky.
After RMU got their first win in conference play this year, our very own Joey Backpack Dramatics sat down with head coach Potter to talk about it.
Thank you, Cam and Casey. I'm here with Coach Potter. And Coach, how you doing today?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Pretty good. So first question, for the first 6 games, 3-1-2, pretty good record to start. What's excited you so far this season in terms of like the style of play and how your team's been doing?
Yeah, it's tough to start in a year. We get 16 days for preseason, and this year we had in total 15 new players who weren't on the roster for the fall. So what's been pleasing is we've quickly gotten a lot of guys on the same page. Guys are thinking in the same way of how to play on the field, and then the team culture, is set in a good place to start the year, which is hard to do when you have so many new guys.
Yeah. So, and as defending Horizon League champions, I'm sure you guys are going to remember that, but you realize that it's a new season. So, as conference play, starts to begin and stuff, what's your thing? What do you think your biggest, challenge, biggest leap is this season as defending champs?
Well, I'm always quick to remind my guys, it's not boxing. They can't take it away from you. That's yours. You always got it. And then you're going out to win something new. So this group of players, we have 15 guys who weren't in the locker room last year. So those experiences are great. To create those memories for players, for fans, for staff is incredible. It's something we'll always cherish, but it's definitely in the rearview mirror where literally all these games are 50-50. You go into any game, each team has an equal chance of winning the game. And then for us, we've got to sustain day to day, week to week, a level of high performance, which is extremely difficult to do in college athletics. But for every week, every 4 days, every 3 days to be at our very best, that's the goal. And that takes a really everyday high attention to detail. You always have highs and lows, in preparation or training, but you always try to get that range at a really good level so the team can be prepared well.
So you mentioned the 15 new players, 10 transfers, 5 freshmen. What in that group excited you that this could be a good group of guys bringing in, and what kind of intrigued this group intrigued you for these new players for this season?
I mean, it sounds like coach speak, but they're all great people. We spend so much time together. We got 29 guys in the group. We see those guys, all the time, every day. Those guys are, especially at a small campus like Robert Morris, they're together all the time. They're in class together. They train together. These guys, if you go to the cafeteria, these guys are sitting at the table eating together. So they're all great people. That gives us a start point to perform well. And yeah, they've really bought in from day one. I mean, I think it also speaks to some of the leadership of some of the older guys like, William and Fabi and, Anas and Victor Coe. Some of these older guys here have really done well to set a base and set a foundation that these guys, welcome those guys into.
Mm-hmm. And you just mentioned 2 of your captains, another one being Josh Lane. What did you like about them picking them as captains this season, as guys that were on the team last year and their experience with the program?
Yeah, each guy's got a different story. I mean, particularly Josh. I mean, I just think he's a true natural leader, a very vocal leader on the field. Fabian really has been through a lot in his career. It's his third season with us, but each year has gotten better and better. I think particularly toward the end of the last year, he started to take a big leadership role. And William and guys on our roster like William, he's a 4-year Robert Morris guy. I mean, he's seen everything there is to see about college soccer and Robert Morris University. And those guys are great examples of how to be a great teammate, how to lead. These are guys, you know, they don't get too high, get too low. I mean, they're just focused on the next thing. So those three have been tremendous all year.
Yeah. So one last question before we're going to send it back to the desk. What's one message to the fans that you would want to say to them as the season kind of gets going?
Yeah, look, we've had an excellent home record the past couple years. Really encourage anybody to come out and watch us play. I can't guarantee we're always going to be this amazing team that, you know, plays to perfection, but I can always guarantee these guys are going to work extremely hard, and people respect that. So if you come out and watch us play, you're going to see a group that's going to give everything, and it's special to play at the NAC, and we appreciate, you know, any support from the outside that can give these guys that extra, you know, 5% energy at these games. It helps us a lot.
Coach, thank you for your time today. I'm going to send it back to the desk, but make sure you tune in on Saturday at 4 p.m. as the Colonials take on Northern Kentucky at the NEC on ESPN+. Coach, thank you. Cam, Casey, back to you guys.
Thank you, Coach Potter. Thank you, Joey. We appreciate you guys sitting down, giving us some insight into the soccer team this year.
Yeah, thanks, Joey. You know, we love him. We love Joey. Backpack Joey, as you call him.
Backpack Joey.
Yeah, and if you don't know why, if you ever see Joey in person, he's got a backpack.
I love that kid.
Yeah, Cam, when we come back after this, we've got more exciting stuff. But we're not going to break yet. It's women's soccer right now, because women's soccer traveled to Baltimore for UMBC. That was a big matchup, and this one was an unfortunate loss for RMU.
Yeah, Casey, the Retrievers of UMBC took this one from Robert Morris 3-1. Ava Trethway had the lone goal for the Colonials. Goalie Krause had 7 saves on 10 shots. She was good, but not good enough in this one, as RMU does not get the win.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Colonials women's soccer team has had a rough start to the season so far. The Colonials, they're going to begin Horizon League action, though, on Thursday when they host Milwaukee at North Athletic Complex. Again, tough loss for this Colonial women's team, who really wanted to pick things up. It's been a slower start, especially compared to the men's. The women's team are 2-3-1 now, so they'll hope whenever conference play starts, they will pick things back up.
Yeah, they've got a tough one once conference play does start. They get 7 consecutive Horizon League winner Milwaukee coming into the NAC in a few days. That's going to be a tough one.
That is going to be a tough one, Cam. But coming up after this, we've got the non-conference schedules for both basketball teams. And, of course, coming up later, it is top 5 play. So you won't want to miss it here on Colonial Sports Center.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. That's CHC women's basketball.
Found my heart out there in the open. Trees make you feel smaller. Can't help but get lost again. If I need a break, know where I'm going.
You bring us back. Welcome back. Kim, we've got the men's basketball schedule coming up right now. Let's look at that one first. The non-conference schedules have come out. Sorry for our little interruptions. A little bit funny down here in the studio right now, but these schedules sure are not funny because we've got an exciting first game matchup. Men's basketball is going to be opening at Iowa. They're playing Alvaro Folgueras, but you're going to... Alvaro Folgueras in the state in Iowa to play against Drake, who were just in the NCAA tournament, and they've got a lot of stuff coming up. Pitt Greensburg, who was a familiar opponent a couple years ago, St. Bonnie's as well versus Monmouth. You see a lot of this stuff. Then down to December 13th, they'll have already started a Horizon League play against Toledo and St. Francis, but exciting stuff for the Colonials. You see some notable returners like Prather and O'Grady after a team that was decimated by the transfer portal.
Yeah, this team really was decimated. Alvaro Folgueras went to Iowa. Amarian Dickerson went to USC. Josh Omajafo went to University of Southern Florida. DJ Smith went to Mercer. Cam Woods went somewhere. He still hasn't announced where he's at. But this team does have some promise. Ubong Akan is 7'1", Josh Hill 6'11". That's size the Colonials haven't really had. And Cam Wilds is a freak athlete, transfer from Clarion. He scored 22 points in exhibition against Syracuse, so this team is might not be the team of last year, but this team's definitely still got skill. Now on to the women's.
Yeah, Cam, that's a team that is going to look to win another Horizon League, but as you said, on to the women. This is a team that looks to win the Horizon League for the first time. Coach McCabe was so great in her first year. Now their non-conference schedule, they've got a few familiar city rivals here. Duquesne, Pitt, Point Park, San Francisco is right outside the area, so that's going to be exciting ones for sure with those games for the women's basketball team. Very exciting stuff, especially when you play local rivals, even though if you're not in the same division or anything like that, when you play city rivals, it's exciting always.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. And similar to the men's team, this team's a whole new squad as well. Maya Murray graduated, Raisa Sabal graduated, Danny Volitich graduated, Isis Grady graduated. 9 of the 14 players on this team are either freshmen or sophomores, so not a ton of older leadership on this team. Really excited to see how Coach McCabe can pull this one together this year.
Yeah, the Colonials will hope to win the Horizon League under rising star Coach McCabe. She's such a rising star, we hope she stays for a long time, but I'm sure those top divisions, with how good she is, they might want to snatch her up at some point. But
yeah, we got to make sure, Colonials got to make sure they use her while they got her.
Yeah, better lock her down. Now we go to break here for our top 5 plays coming up, as well as our games to watch. We'll see you right after this here on Colonial Sports Center.
The death of George Floyd, who died in police custody Monday night.
Turning my pain into purpose is pretty much what I have done to start this foundation. It's going to take more than just us, you know, as a foundation. It's going to take the community, the world, to help us make a change, because it just can't be us.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center, Cam. We've got our laughs out, but we haven't gotten top 5 plays out. So, Cam, let's get right into our exciting top 5 plays of the week once again. Let's go on to number 5 here. This one, you're taking us down to men's soccer. Here, it's going to be a cross put in. This one's flicked on, and it's flicked in by Rory Raheem. This one wasn't offsides because there was a defender standing right on the goalpost. Maybe a mismanaged play right there for Detroit Mercy, but RMU doesn't care, and it's a header right there for Roy Rahim, and that one assisted by Overcamp.
What a beautiful goal there out of the Colonials. On to the number 4 play of the week. Nathan Karabatsakis is going to force the fumble. Xavier Stiles jumps on it here. This led to the Colonials scoring in what ultimately led to being a rather close game with West Liberty.
Yeah, Cam, just so many turnovers this last few weeks for the Colonials. We hope to keep them coming and see them on top 5 plays week after week. Now we go on to number 3. We're going back to men's soccer. You're going to see an attempted bicycle kick by Jack Bergiano. It's going to be tipped on, bounces around, and Overcamp's able to put it in for another goal for him here. 2 goals on the day and the assist. We talked about him earlier. There's one of those goals. You can see right here the bicycle almost gets pulled off, slows it down. Oh, just tips it. It gets flicked on. Overcamp is there to capitalize.
Casey, rinse and repeat for you on a soccer goal. Rinse and repeat for me on a football turnover for the Colonials. Tycene Howard gets the game-sealing interception here at the end of the game to seal the Colonials' win.
Yeah, Cam, again, all these turnovers are exciting. They're not just doing forced fumbles. They're getting picks. They're doing stuff any which way they can, and it's just exciting stuff. You can see the coverage is just perfect, played right there, and takes it back. Could have maybe taken it to the end zone if he had a little bit more room. He wanted to, so maybe we'll see that in future weeks. But now on to number 1 play of the week. You saw this a little earlier. I'm back to American football now, and it's going to be Zach Tanner sending out the crew, bringing the ladder, and Jackie Carter says, I'm climbing that thing, and I'm catching that ball up top. Gets it right over the defensive back's back, and mosses for a touchdown for the Colonials. And for our number 1 play, hops up, bam, like a rabbit, brings it down. Unbelievable play for our number 1 here on Top 5 Plays.
I'm not sure how he came down with that one, Case. That's not even going to be a top play of the Colonials sports here. That's one of the best catches I've seen in a really long time.
The defensive back had his arm all up in there like that, and he still brought it down.
Yeah, I don't know how he did it. But now we're going to move on to the future. We went over the past for the last 28 minutes and change. We're going to tell you about our games to watch. Starting off with me, it's going to be the football team taking on Dayton at home this week. Patrick McDonald's going to be the guy you want to look out for the Colonials. 15 tackles on the air, a sack, a forced fumble, a couple tackles for loss. He's been in the backfield. And the guy you're going to want to watch for is Gavin Lockow for Dayton. In only 2 games, he's got 207 yards through the air, 3 scores. He's going to be dangerous, but as we just saw in Top 5 Plays, the Colonials' pass defense is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, for sure. Not just the pass defense, but the rush defense as well, forcing those fumbles for sure. So that one's going to be exciting. But, Cam, I'm going to go back to men's soccer. I feel like we're just bouncing back and forth between these 2 teams. We're going to go over to men's soccer. They play another conference matchup. This one is against the Northern Kentucky Norse. In this one, Colonials looking to keep their Horizon League streak, make it 2 in this one. It's going to be exciting. Northern Kentucky coming off of a loss to Green Bay in the Horizon League. Watch out for their keeper, Alex Crone. He's only allowed 5 goals in 6 games, has 14 saves, only 1 clean sheet. So he's averaging a little under 1 goal per game, and he's sticking to about that 1 goal per game. Now, of course, on the other side, we've been talking about Overcamp a lot for this show, but I had to give a shout out here for a player to watch for RMU, Anas Hadran, the senior from Morocco. The midfielder has been fantastic. A goal and 2 assists so far this season. He's been a bedrock player for the Colonials these past couple of seasons. He's going to continue being an exciting attacking midfielder and someone you should really keep an eye on for RMU.
Case, it's no secret that Hadran has been cooking so far this year. But do you think that they can go back-to-back and win another Horizon League championship?
I think they could. With Hadran slicing up the defense like that as a midfielder. You're making a face, Cam, Cam, you're making that face. And when it's serious time, because the Colonials could go back-to-back in the Horizon.
The Colonials really could. I don't see a reason why they couldn't, honestly.
I don't see why a lot of these teams couldn't go back-to-back in the champions. 5 championship teams, and let's see how it keeps going. And you're going to see how it keeps going on Colonial Sports Center in future weeks. Thanks for joining us tonight here. See you all next week.